We just got done trying out the 3-player version of Critter Kitchen at Gen Con 2023. We got thoughts. Let's talk about it.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube. We're back again for another Thoughts from the Corner with my good friend Adam.
Nope.
And we're talking about the upcoming Kickstarter launch, Critter Kitchen. And we got a chance to play this 3 players with the publisher of the game, Peter. So we're going to let Peter tell you all about how the game works, and then we'll come back with our thoughts on the game. So, hey, Peter.
Right. Hey, everybody. Lunch is on October 24th, so we got something in store for you. Here's what we're cooking up. You are an animal chef, and you run a restaurant in Bistro Bay. And as you are this great restaurant owner, you have 3 sous chefs, a mouse, a lizard, and a boar. And they're going to run out and grab ingredients because you're trying to get the best meal for a famous critic that's coming at the end of the weekend. This critic is going to want a 7-course meal from you. So you're going to serve the best bread course, the best wine course, the best meat course. How do you do that? Well, you and the other players are going to program where you're going. So all of these cards correspond to a location in town. And let's say I really want this great mushroom right here at the Garden Top Shop. If I give that to my mouse can grab one thing, but is the fastest. So that might be the way to go. And then I'm going to say that the lizard can grab 2 things, and I really like what's at the desert vendor. So I'm going to do that. And this black market, I don't even know what's there. That's a surprise. So I'm going to risk it with my boar, who is the slowest but can carry 3 things. So now, once everybody's got all their cards out, then we're all going to flip over our cards and go where we decided to go. So I'm going to go to the Garden Top Shop. Let's say I go to the desert vendor. Now, unbeknownst to me, let's pretend that someone else raced me over here for this ingredient. So the red player goes over there, and maybe the purple player also jumped in, but with their lizard. And so everyone's going to put all of their chefs in different spots all over the board. All right. So once everyone's decided, then you're going to go location by location. This game happens over 7 rounds. So let's say we're in round 2 right now. And there's also these challenges that the town is telling us that they want. So in addition to the critic, we've also got these things to think about. And then we also have a lot of other little things happening. The soup truck has unlimited soup, which could be a wild and help you fulfill some of the ingredients, all the way down to the black market. We don't know what's coming out. And the Chef Academy is where you can hire another animal with all different powers. This is Alex, named after the designer, one of the co-designers, Alex Cutler. So I've decided, though, to go here. Whenever there's a tie break track that's going to determine it. Let's say that I had the first pick, so then I would take this and I would hide it behind. I have a screen over here, and I'm going to hide that. And then the red player would get to take their pick, and the lizard would not get as much at this particular, but they would at least get something. So if you missed entirely, there's still something you can get here. So you would keep your ingredients. We have a screen, so you'd be able to keep it behind there. Here we have another tie break. So let's say we did that tie break, and the red player got to pick first. It would go back and forth where they took that one, I took this one, and they took that one, and we're all done. Once we have collected a whole bunch of ingredients, we're going to have 2 different things we can do with those ingredients. One is with these challenges, which are going to be met by the more you can spend on those challenges, the more food you can give to that. It's a restaurant week, so this is what the people want. If I contribute to that, I can earn stars, and stars are the victory points of the game. Whoever's the most famous Michelin star restaurant at the end, of course, we go way over the 3 stars. You can get a lot more. So after you do the challenges, and you have day 1, you're going to be able to hold only a certain amount of ingredients. There's a refrigeration limit, and then you go into day 2, and then you do it again. You shop, and then you meet new challenges in day 2, like the ultimate melt. And after you do those challenges, you go into what's the final moment, which is the critic, and they want a 7-course meal. You'll plate your best bread, your best carrots, and so on, and then there'll be a series of things to do here. If you serve all 7 courses, you get a star. If you do the best bread course, you get a star. And then there's these rumors that are secrets about the mouse. During the game, if you've managed to collect a rumor token, you might know that the mouse, well, let's look at it, what it is. The mouse actually, here it says that they actually love mushrooms. Secretly, they're a mushroom fanatic. Or they also are nocturnal, which means you want to serve your ingredients from low number to high number. And if you manage to pull that off, you get 5 stars. And here, you've also found out that they secretly want to take more food to go. So you do not need those to score the mouse. But if you know that, you're going to do much better. At the end of the day, you get stars for the critic. You get stars for the challenges. and you get stars for a couple other things, and then most stars takes it down. Most famous restaurant in town.
Alrighty then, that is how you're going to play Critter Kitchen, and we're going to sound like shills, I think, a lot here. I'm hoping you got some things you didn't like. So let's start off with that. I think this is a great game. I really enjoyed this one, and I can't wait to play it. And the thing that I really want to mention before I forget is we didn't play it with the asymmetric special abilities, which I think is going to be part of the Kickstarter itself. And that, I think, would only make me like it even better. So we were playing on the basic version of it. But is there anything you didn't like about it?
Anything I didn't like? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm the same way, and I hate that.
It was just really tight. So, are we going to do it?
Yeah, so I think we're both going to start off with a smooth gameplay, right?
Yeah.
The gameplay just feels so smooth, and each of the different aspects of the gameplay I really enjoyed. Like there's this bidding aspect as you try to bid for the items, but the deeper you get into the game, you're like, oh, there's like a whole level to this, and there's like the tiebreaker track, which is its own separate little thing that's very easy to understand, but it can be a big decision.
And you're trying to get points now, but if you hold on to these things instead, you can get points later.
Yeah, so it had like the Kingsburg aspect that I really liked, where at the end you were about to cook this meal for this big fancy chef, and this is where you're going to get the brunt of your points most likely. But you can find out secret information about that chef, and that became another thing that you could bid on out there, because you might be getting like great items to give to the chef, but if you don't know that they really love wine and that's going to be doubled, like that's a huge leg up someone has on it. It was the auction, the race aspect was really clean and clear and simple, because you have the large units, which bring more things, and the quick units. So it's like, oh, I really want to set up that quick unit there.
And the way that ties worked was really great, because it was like a circulating, whoever won the tie goes to the end of the line.
Yeah, so even if you lost a tie, it still felt good, because now you're one step up later on when you want to get the tie. Mm-hmm. The one aspect of asymmetry that we got, though, was the special workers. And I never got to use any of them, but those seemed really
they were
cool.
Really cool. Yeah, it was like every time I was trying to do certain things, and the one round I was like, I just need a piece of bread. Like, that's all he needs. No bread out there.
But the gameplay, it's just once you played that first round, it's just like, okay, this is simple.
It makes sense. The player reference on the sheet was really good. And I mean, it was prototype components, but it was very finished.
It was near, yeah.
So
any other notes I have here? I loved the race aspect. I love the bidding aspect. I love the tiebreaker aspect.
I love the art.
I love the hidden information aspect, a la Kingsburg, where it's like knowing stuff about them and bidding on it. I loved how thematically it tied to the game itself, and I think it made it easier to understand, explain the game, like, oh, all the leftovers from here go to the soup kitchen at the end. And I think it would only get better with the asymmetrical special abilities, which we didn't play with, but I still really enjoyed the base game, because that would even add a whole extra element to the bidding.
And just having extra players will add.
Oh yeah,
added.
So we played it 3 players. It goes up to 5 players, and they were talking about maybe, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but potentially tweaking it to see if it can get more players. And I think it would just add to the bidding aspect, because that's all done simultaneous, and that's what I really.
And everybody was doing things at the same time, which was there was no downtime in this game at all.
We totally forgot about the food phase. So there's one extra phase. We've pretty much been talking about the bidding phase and the auction phase, but then there's this whole little mini game that you play when you have to make the meals, because you have, the prototype, but you have plates back there and you have all your food, and so then you're trying to be like, how do I?
And you put them on the plates, and you're like, do I overload this plate in order to get the 4 stars? Or do I spread it out and maybe get extra ones on the other one?
Or do I keep it for the end, because that master chef's going to put up a bunch of points?
That big point.
But in particular, just the moving around of the physical pieces back there just made my brain work differently than a lot of other games. I really enjoyed that phase.
Well, I liked that all the stuff goes back in the bag and then it can be pulled out again.
Yes.
So
it was risky. Like,
you can
Kevin's
use
back
the
on the
7,
market.
but you know that it's still in the bag. Like, it can still come out.
And I think that's just a testament to how good they made their player reference card, because a lot of companies wouldn't include that information. They say, 7's the best. But by having physically exactly how many tiles are in there, you're like, there's only 1 7, like, and I know it's in the bag right now. And so this special ability that lets me randomly draw one for the, like, great. And there's only going to be more asymmetry that's going to come from it. I think this is great. I think it would warrant a spot on my shelf right now. Because that's the question I always ask at the end of it. Would you want it on the shelf?
Absolutely take a copy of this.
So that is Critter Kitchen coming to Kickstarter right now. God, we gotta think of something bad. Like we're shills.
Well,
we're
here's the
damn
thing,
shills.
though.
Here we go.
We were being taught by the publisher of the game.
Okay.
So, like, you know, he was walking through it. So we don't know how the rule booklet is. We don't know if things are going to change, or maybe it would have been more confusing if we didn't have him there telling us.
So you're saying this is a hypothetical potential bad thing? I do appreciate you really scraping. Like we're trying to find.
I enjoyed the game.
It flowed so smoothly, and like every little aspect of the game just had a little bit of thinkiness, and it was interesting choices. 2 players. I don't know about 2 players in this one. I think it'd be interesting. I think the larger. I don't know.
Does it go to
the score? The scoring was so simple too. We even talked about the scoring was you flip over your player reference, your player thing at the end, and then on the back it's got like this big score. That's really nice. I guess we don't have anything negative to say about it. Call us
sorry, guys.
It's a great game. Highly recommend. That is Critter Kitchen coming to Kickstarter near you very, very soon. If you're enjoying the content, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. I'm trying to reach 17,000 subscribers in 2023 to make my biggest year ever. And in the comments below, let me know what's the last game you played that you don't really have a negative for, where it's just like, yeah, I can't say anything. Like, obviously, aside from this one, when's the last time we played a game or you played a game where it's just like, I can't think of another con with it. It's a tough one. A lot of cons. I think of Isle of Cats, another hot Gen Con release. I'm super cold and new. I should have made a video on that before Gen Con, but I'm an idiot. If you like the crew, if you like that polyominoes and the crew kind of vibe, highly recommend.
Yeah, I don't know when the last time I played a game I didn't.
So this is like special. Like is this the best game you played in a while? Well, I mean, you played Blood on the Clock Tower recently.
Well, yeah.
But you have issues with that. There's some things where it's.
Yeah, there are some things in that.
Okay. So nothing. This game's great.
But yeah, never mind. I'm not getting into that.
You're gonna
There's the blood on the clock tower things. That's a different.
Okay. But as always, let me know what the comments below. Thanks for your time, YouTube. This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.